Today you'll experience the life simulation of a funeral home insider with 12 years in the trade. You're 45, and in this industry you've witnessed too many families' final farewells. You once believed this work was about craft and conscience, but 12 years in, you've learned. From the moment a patient takes their last breath to the moment their ashes enter a cemetery, at least 8 people stand along that chain, each waiting to cut their slice from a single coffin. In 2013, you came to the city from your hometown looking for work as a funeral MC. The woman who interviewed you was middle-aged, and she asked just one question. Can you bring yourself to make money off grieving families? You said you only wanted to rely on your craft. She sneered. Craft earns $3,000 a month. Talking earns $30,000. Pick. You didn't understand then. 6 months later, you did. On your 3rd day, your mentor took you out for the first job. A family of 6, just out of the hospital, sobbing in each other's arms. He handed them tissues, then delivered the line without a flinch. Our cheapest package runs $38,000, our top tier $98,000. Is your elder worth that much to you? At their most broken moment, that one sentence pushed them to $98,000. You stood there and felt your scalp crawl. That night, you couldn't sleep in the dormitory. Your mentor clapped your shoulder. Kid, remember, in this trade we don't sell coffins. We sell guilt. When someone dies, what the family fears most is being called unfilial. Hang the price tag on filial piety, and no one dares to haggle. Lying on the top bunk, you stared at the ceiling until dawn, your first sleepless night. Playbook number 1, the coffin. In funeral home showrooms, caskets are staged from 30,000 to 100,000 yuan. But trace the supply back to a wholesale market, and that same pine coffin ships out at 2,000. Laminate it, gild the edges, and the price tag jumps to 30,000 minimum. The solid Nanmu and gold thread beach, 90% are veneered panels. A thin shell of prestige wrapped around plywood. When clients come to pick a casket, the salesperson never starts with the cheapest. She walks you straight to the 98,000 Nanmu flagship and says, your elder worked all their life. Let's give them a dignified final journey. If you hesitate, she pivots instantly to the 38,000 model, which feels like a concession but is actually anchoring psychology. Anyone who's been anchored usually lands on the mid-tier 58,000 coffin. Playbook number 2, the urn. Funeral home urns run from 3,000 to 50,000 yuan. Search the same jade urn on Taobao, and you'll find it for 800. How can funeral homes mark up 40, 50 times? Because each urn is stamped with the home's own seal, contracts are signed through hospital partnerships, and once a family steps inside the home, bringing an urn from outside is forbidden. This is closed-system monopoly pricing. 1 year, a son bought a 2,000 yuan urn online and brought it to the home. He was told, outside urns forbidden. This home's ashes only enter this home's vessels. He exploded at my mentor on the spot. My mentor didn't flinch, just said quietly, of course, sir, you're free to take your elder's ashes elsewhere, but we won't handle transport, won't hand over effects after cremation. The son paid the extra 18,000. Playbook number 3, the cemetery plot. This is where the industry feeds hardest. In a second-tier city, a double plot of 1 square meter starts at 180,000 yuan. You think you're buying stone? You're not. You're buying 20 years of use rights. After 20 years, you renew, same as renting an apartment. Most people only learn this after signing. They paid a timed lease, not a permanent title. Where's the obscene margin? A developer buys 1 acre from the government for 1 or 2 million yuan, slices it into 80 to 100 double plots, sells each at 180,000. 1 acre grosses 18 million, 70% net margin. And during the sale, you're only told 20-year rights. The renewal rate after 20 years? Conveniently missing from the contract, subject to whatever inflation says that year. Playbook number 4, the script. Funeral home training doesn't start with dressing the deceased. It starts with memorizing the objection manual. Dozens of pages, covering the moment the family arrives, casket selection, urn purchase, checkout. Every line is prescripted. You say too expensive. The reply is your elder worked their whole life. You say, keep it simple. The reply is, what will relatives say about your filial piety? The cruelest line is this: do you want your elder to leave this world with dignity, or save a few tens of thousands? That sentence pins the family to the wall. No one dares argue over money in that moment. Any salesperson knows what this is: moral coercion as sales technique. The entire funeral industry trains it. Not one home is exempt. Playbook number 5. Hospital kickbacks. Most people don't realize, before a patient takes their last breath, the funeral home already knows they're dying. ER nurse stations, morgue attendants, even ward caregivers, any of them can be informants. One tip goes for 500 to 2,000 yuan, priced by hospital tier and family wealth. By the time the family rushes out of ER, several men in black suits are already waiting by the door. Auntie, we're the hospital's partner funeral home. We'll handle every step. In your worst moment of panic, seeing someone stepping up to help, 9 out of 10 will follow. That single step drops you onto an assembly line priced at 30 to 50,000. Let's pull the camera back and look at the full supply chain, upstream to downstream. Hospital informants, frontline funeral home sales, coffin factories, urn wholesalers, cemetery developers, cemetery salespeople, shroud suppliers, ritual service firms, ash transport fleets. Once a body enters this chain, it yields an average of 50 to 150,000 yuan in revenue. Direct cost? Under 15,000. Every link in the chain kicks back to the others. Hospital informants take 3% from the funeral home. The funeral home takes 15% from the cemetery developer. A single 180,000 plot sold, 6 different people might have skimmed their cut. The family at the bottom never knows how many times their money was sliced. According to China's Ministry of Civil Affairs 2024 industry report, the national funeral sector has surpassed 300 billion yuan in scale, with cemetery sales accounting for over 60%. The average total cost of a funeral rose from 38,000 yuan in 2015 to 89,000 in 2024, more than doubling in a decade. Over the same period, CPI rose just 27%. That premium gap was almost entirely absorbed by the supply chain above. By my 8th year, the weight in my chest was unbearable. That winter I took a job for an elderly man who'd lived alone. He'd survived by collecting scrap, and at his passing only a distant nephew remained. The nephew gritted his teeth and chose the 48,000 package. I watched him pay, then walk into a convenience store to buy the cheapest instant noodles. In that moment I understood. The 48,000 I pocketed should have been that kid's easier half year. So what do? 3 hard-edge moves. Move 1. Don't buy coffins or urns at the funeral home itself. No law requires it. Order in advance from legitimate channels, wholesale markets, brand direct stores. An online purchased urn of the same spec saves over 70%. The key: when you sign the contract, explicitly demand the right to bring outside vessels into the home and keep your purchase receipts. With that on paper, they have no grounds to refuse. Move 2. Never pick a cemetery plot in the panic moment. Whoever picks last minute gets locked into the developer's highest margin tier. If circumstances allow, involve the elder while they're still well. This both deflects price gouging and respects their wishes. Beyond that, tree burials, flowerbed burials, sea burials, ecological wall burials now exist at cost from a few thousand to 10, 20,000 yuan, some with government subsidies. Don't let the industry guilt trip you into thinking any of these are unfilial. Move 3. Always bring a companion through the whole process, ideally a tough negotiator who isn't immediate family. Immediate relatives can't stay cool through grief. But an extended cousin, a colleague, a friend can step in when packages are being chosen and say, keep it simple. The elder never liked grand affairs. Once that line is spoken, the salesperson instantly switches scripts. The filial piety pressure is off the table. Over the full process, this move alone saves 30 to 50,000 yuan. If you've already been taken, here's how to fight back. 3 channels. First, dial 12345, China's citizen hotline, and file a complaint against the funeral home's pricing. The Ministry of Civil Affairs has jurisdiction. Second, keep every receipt, price sheet, and contract. Report price fraud to the Market Supervision Administration. Third, if you were forced to use in-house vessels or services, file with the Consumer Association or approach a journalist. The one thing this industry fears most is making the news. In the spring of my 12th year, I handed in my resignation. The manager asked why. I said I couldn't watch another 50-year-old son haggle with me over a coffin. He smiled. Someone else will fill your seat tomorrow. I knew he was right. As long as this industry feeds on guilt and panic, it will never run out of recruits. But I couldn't do it anymore. Back to you. Funerals are the one chapter no one escapes. Your parents will age, you will age. What you can do is this. While your elders are still well, sit with them and talk about the farewell they actually want. Draft a simple list, sealing budgets for casket, urn, cemetery, and hand it to one trustworthy family member. When the day comes, no one will lead you by the nose. This is the life simulation of a 12-year funeral home insider. Share this video with the friends around you who have aging parents and young kids, with colleagues who've just lost someone, with the strangers frozen in hospital hallways. Facing death, everyone panics. The only thing that can save them is the next person who's seen the playbook and can stay steady, you.